On August 12th, the sun goes out, not as a metaphor. For a little over 2 minutes, the moon slides across the face of the sun and swallows it whole. And the star you organize your entire sense of self around simply vanishes from the sky. The ancients did not file this under astronomy. They experienced it as a death. And they were not wrong, because this eclipse falls in Leo, the sign of the ego, the sign of the crafted self, the crowned self, the face you learned to show the world so the world would love you back. And when the sun is eclipsed in Leo, something in you is being asked to go dark. Not forever, just long enough for you to find out who you are when the light you perform by is switched off. So before you let this dissolve into one more forecast, I want to ask you the only question this eclipse is actually asking. Who are you no longer? Sit in that. Not who you want to become, who you already are not, but are still pretending to be. Here is what is literally happening in the sky, because the literal event is the teaching. The sun is the I. In every symbolic language we have ever built, the sun is consciousness, vitality, the central self, the thing that says, I am. The moon is the unconscious, the tides of feeling, memory, the parts of you that move in the dark. And in a solar eclipse, the unconscious passes directly in front of the conscious self and blots it out. The hidden covers the known. As above, so below. For a few minutes, the ego does not get to be in charge. The thing that runs the show is eclipsed by the thing it spent your whole life trying not to look at. And it happens in Leo, the most self-referential sign of the zodiac. Leo is not vanity. Leo is the sacred need to be seen, to matter, to leave a mark that says, I was here. Beautiful. And also the exact place the ego builds its most convincing costume. Now hold the larger frame. On July 26th, the lunar nodes changed signs. The south node, the point of release, of what you are here to shed, moved into Leo. The north node, your growing edge, moved into Aquarius. This eclipse is the first on that new axis, which means it is not a random ego death. It is a directional one. The south node in Leo is asking you to release the self that needs applause to feel real. And the north node in Aquarius is showing you where you're headed, toward a self that no longer performs for the room, that contributes to something larger than its own reflection. The mask is being pulled off in the sign of the mask, on purpose. Jung had a word for the face you show the world. He called it the persona, from the Latin for the mask an actor wore on stage. The persona is not a lie. You need one. It's how you move through a world that rarely wants the whole of you at once. But there is a failure that almost no one names. It is not failing to build a persona. It is forgetting you are wearing one. Mistaking the mask for the face. Defending a self-concept so old that you've outgrown it in every way but the story you keep telling about who you are. That is the identity that must die. Not you, the outgrown you. The version that was accurate at 25, or before the divorce, or before the child, or before the awakening, and has quietly become a coffin you're still calling a home. This eclipse lands on my own Leo moon and Mars. So I'm not narrating this from the outside. I know exactly what it is to have a self dissolve, to feel the identity I defended for years come apart, and to stand in that dark with nothing left to perform. What I can tell you is that the terror of it and the freedom of it are the same doorway. You do not get one without the other. So here is your shadow work, not affirmations, questions. What identity are you protecting that no longer fits? Whose approval are you still organizing your life around? And the hard one, if no one were watching, no audience, no applause, no one to be impressive for, who would you actually be? The eclipse is going to ask you these, whether you sit down for them or not. The only choice you have is whether you answer on purpose. If you want to know exactly where this eclipse falls in your own chart, which house is going dark, Which part of your life is being asked to shed its old skin? That's what I built RE/AL Astro to show you. It's linked below. But you don't need it to do the work. You need it if you want the map. Now, the part almost no one tells you about ego death because it doesn't fit on a hopeful graphic. The alchemists had a stage they called the nigredo, the blackening. Before you can make gold, the material has to be broken down completely. Solve e coagula. Dissolve and only then recombine. You cannot become who you're meant to be while still fully intact as who you were. Something has to come apart first. This eclipse is a nigredo, a sanctioned darkening. The gold is hidden in the dark. Retrieve yourself. Don't let the old you come back.